Glad you're streaming with us. So should the government be able to pressure social media platforms to remove misinformation online? That question is now before the Supreme Court after years of a Republican-led legal campaign that says Biden administration efforts to reduce misinformation online are equal to censorship. Central to the case is whether the White House actually violated free speech protections during the COVID-19 pandemic when government officials requested that Twitter, Facebook, and other social networks remove misinformation about the coronavirus. Our senior Washington correspondent, Devin Dwyer, is at the Supreme Court with the latest for us. So, Devin, this case, Murthy versus Missouri, has the potential to radically redefine how the U.S. government interacts with social media companies, right?
It sure does, Kira. I mean, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, those social media companies we all use, they moderate content every day. They limit what we see in their private companies. They can set their own rules. They can take down posts. They can kick off users. The question is, what role can the government play in leaning on those companies to do certain things, including taking down misinformation, things about vaccine, effectiveness, for example, and other things like that. In this case, two plaintiffs, two Republican-led states, and 5 individual users sued the Biden administration, saying that during COVID and during the 2020 election, a number of their postings were limited, pulled from the site because the administration had picked up the phone and called those companies, asking them to take them down. The Biden administration says they never threatened the companies to take down specific posts. They said they only, called these companies as a routine matter to talk about matters of national security, public health, and election integrity. But the justices today, Kira, had to weigh all those facts and weigh the stakes for the country as well as free speech for individual users in deciding where to draw that line between persuasion, which is legal, and coercion by the administration of these private companies, which of course would not comply with the First Amendment. So it was an interesting debate today.
What are we hearing from social media companies?
The companies just want some clear guidelines, Kira. I mean, they maintain that they don't want coercion from the government. They don't want any officials from the FBI or the White House calling them up and demanding certain things, issuing threats. At the same time, they're open to persuasion. The companies say they want to hear from public officials about threats to national security, for example. If there's a terrorist posting, they want to know what needs to be taken down. And the justices today were very sympathetic to those public safety and public health concerns. It did appear, Kira, that a majority of the court is likely to oppose restricting the administration from making these types of calls, although there were real concerns from some of the conservatives, like Justice Samuel Alito, who said the way the Biden administration has treated companies like Facebook is like a subordinate that has gone too far. So we'll have to see, Kira, the decision is expected by the end of June.
All right, we'll follow it. Thanks, Devin.